All right, so I've coached hundreds of SDRs at this point, and I want to go over the 3 most common pitfalls I see salespeople make at the outset of cold calls. And these are all mistakes I made as well when I was a rep. I learned through trial and error the hard way, and I want to save you the pain if I can, and actually make this process much easier on yourself, and I'll show you how to fix these mistakes at the end. So the first common mistake I see is asking if the prospect has time or 30 seconds to talk at the beginning of the call. Getting that permission. It sounds like, hey, do you have 30 seconds for me to tell you why I'm calling right now, and then you can decide whether you want to continue the conversation? Or, hey, do you have time for me to tell you why I'm calling right now? In my opinion, you don't need to ask if they have time to talk. If they picked up the phone, they have time to talk, and they will listen if you speak with purpose and conviction. The action of picking up the phone itself signals that they have time to talk, or they wouldn't have picked up the phone. Like when I'm busy, if I'm actually busy or going into a meeting or something and don't have time to talk, I'll just put my phone in my pocket or on silent. Tell them I'll call them back. So if they have picked up the phone, you don't need to get their permission to talk. They've answered, that action signals they're ready to talk. So you just need to be concise and confident, and I'll show you how to do that at the end. The second one is confirming whether you're speaking with the right person. I hear this a lot. It sounds like, hey, is this John Smith from X company? Or, hey, is this John Smith, and are you the financial analyst at X company? You're kind of confirming whether the data is accurate. And in my opinion, this is not necessary, and it actually puts the prospect on the defensive. So think about yourself on your day-to-day. You're busy, you're grinding, prospecting, doing whatever it is you do, and you get a call from a number you don't have. And you answer, you're like, maybe it's important, I'll pick this up. And they're like, for me, it would be, hey, am I speaking with Connor Murray? I'd be like, yeah. Like, I'd get pretty defensive because I'm like, this person doesn't know me. I wasn't expecting the call. I mean, normally it's like my insurance company or something calling me to tell me I'm late on some bill and I got to pay it back with interest. Like, it's usually not a good thing, and it's neutral at best. So don't put your prospect on the defensive by asking whether it's them or whether they're the correct title at their company. I get that the data is not always accurate in the CRM. Trust me, I'm fully aware of that. I just don't think it's worth putting your prospect on the defensive every single call, because you're going to learn whether it was them or not anyway. Like if you go through your talk track and it's not the person you were calling, you're going to find out anyway. So no need to confirm at the beginning of the call, you're going to find out anyway. And then the last one is just asking too many questions at the beginning of a call in general, or trying to get too fancy. All of this stuff you see taught on YouTube, I think it's too much and it's actually counterproductive. So things like, hey, this is a cold call. Or just trying to do these pattern interrupts, or hey, do you have 27 seconds for me to tell you why I'm calling right now? Or even things like, how are you today? Where you're like actually asking how they're doing today. I think it's too much. You're overcomplicating it. You're adding variance. Like when you call someone and you say, how are you today? And you're on the other end, they're like, I don't have all day to talk. Like you just called me out of the blue and I don't know who you are. I don't have time to talk to you about how my day is going. So you might be thinking, what's left? Like if I can't do any of that, all this stuff taught on YouTube, what's left? I will show you 2 different methods, but my goal is to keep this process as simple as possible. So 1, I say, hey Jim, this is Connor Murray calling from X company. How you doing? Good, I'm just reaching out because, and then I go right into my talk track. Another way you could say it is, hey Jim, this is Connor Murray calling from X company. How are you today? Good. The reason I'm calling is same deal. Both of those had the same tone, same inflection. So find the words that are comfortable for you. The first one is the one I use, but it was 2 steps. The first step signals, hey, this is a formality. Hey, this is Connor Murray calling from X company. How you doing? Formality. 9 times out of 10, I just get a quick formality back. They're like, good, how are you? And then I say, good, I'm just reaching out because, and then go right into my talk track. So that makes it really easy to pick up the phone when I know it's gonna go that way to start off every time. And I don't have to play these games of like, do you have 27 seconds for me to tell you why I'm calling right now? And then you can decide. Like that way overcomplicates it. Like, I'd have to take a deep breath before every cold call if that's what I was going to do. But when I just keep it within my process and I say, hey, this is Connor Murray calling from X company. How you doing? Good. I'm just reaching out because I've done it thousands of times. I've taught it to reps who have done it thousands of times. It works. Yes, sometimes you'll get these occasional calls that don't go the way you expect, but that opening keeps it nice and simple, and it actually just makes it easier on yourself, which is the goal with all of this. So give it a shot. Let me know if it works for you. Drop a comment if you've got other lines. I'm always trying to learn what other people are using too. I really love to talk about this stuff. Let me know, and hope you enjoyed. See you on the next one.